New mail truck. New mail truck. Look at that, baby. Look at it. Look at that. New mail truck. Oh my God. Look at this thing. Holy crap. Gorgeous. Look at that dog. Look at that electric mail truck.
Not the only department getting audited. Every agency is getting audited. Biden spent $3 billion to build 93 electric mail trucks. That comes to $32 million per mail truck. You've seen a mail truck. They work fine. You get your mail, right?
Welcome everybody. This is Marcel Ernie, the Canadian journalist, and here we have the USPS Postal Service story that we've all seen since Fox did a story on it, and I had to look it up. A $10.9 billion program to buy EVs for the US Postal Service is far behind schedule, with defense contractor Oshkosh not disclosing significant manufacturing difficulties for more than a year. The USPS has received only 75 trucks, far fewer than the 3,000 expected by now. Despite $3 billion commitment, only 93 of 3,000 promised electric USPS trucks delivered. Here's December 18th story, guys. Postmaster General, that's hilarious that they actually use that term, Louis DeJoy, Mr. DeJoy's bizarre and frankly childish behavior, pictured above, during testimony before Congress wasn't the U.S. Postal Service's worst moment last week. That came 2 days later.
You, sir, do not get an A grade. You cannot give yourself that grade.
I just did.
You can't. You can't grade your own paper, sir. I've been to medical school.
Well, then.
I got my MBA. You can't. I'm sorry. You are graded by the United States people, and they don't use your service anymore. You bankrupt.
That is not true.
You
That
bankrupt
is
this
not
through
true,
your
sir. My
reputation
business is
only.
growing.
Through your
Our
reputation,
business is growing.
you are responsible for the fall of the Postal Service
No,
and the
this
lack of
Congress-
accountability.
This Congress is responsible for the
doesn't-
fall of the Postal
oh, so it's
Service.
Congress's-
I am trying to fix
On your
the Postal
watch.
Service.
With all the AI.
Before my watch, the same stuff
With
happened.
all
worse.
the AI, with all the computer systems, you're worse than if I took
You're
a
talking
horse
to yourself.
and picked up the mail and delivered it 2 miles down the road. That's you. I hope you got that on camera. This is the response that the Postmaster just gave Congress when he doesn't like what he hears. Literally covered his ears and gave himself the grade of A. And with that, sir, I rest.
Oh man, this is just getting better and better, right? Biden and the Democrats failing, and they like to fail up, but finally things are taking a change, and they're hopefully going to fail to the very bottom of the well. Oh shit, I could probably get in trouble saying that on the, you can get arrested for just making a joke. All right, fast forward to the USPS plans to go green by 2026, and it's going to cost taxpayers billions. This was December 23rd. Monkey see, monkey do. That's what the United States Postal Service is going regarding its delivery fleet. They're going to blow some $11 billion on electric vehicles after a push from the Biden admin. It won't be immediate, but the goal is to have 66,000 cars delivering mail by 2026. Also in that same time frame, USPS hopes all purchases of future vehicles will carry zero emissions. Well, how are you going to build the batteries and charge the batteries, please? Postal officials' plans to call for buying 60,000 next-generation delivery vehicles from a defense contractor, Oshkosh, of which 45,000 will be electric. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy told the Washington Post the agency will also purchase 46,000 models from mainstream automakers, of which 21,000 will be electric. The Postal Service will spend $9.6 billion on the vehicles and associated infrastructure, officials said, including $3 billion from the Inflation Reduction Act, President Biden and congressional demo fool Kratz landmark climate, healthcare, and tax law. He goes on to say, it's a major achievement for a White House climate agenda that leans heavily on reducing greenhouse gases from vehicles and increasing those gases from the coal mines. It's wonderful that the Postal Service will be at the forefront of the switch to dirty electric vehicles with postal workers as ambassadors, delivering the mail ambassadors. Oh, it goes on. It goes on. Ambassador said John Podesta from the White House, senior advisor for clean energy innovation, says it will get people thinking. If the postal worker delivering our Christmas presents is driving an EV, I can drive one too, end quote. No one looks to their local postal worker to gauge what's hot regarding car sales. No one is going to say, look, the postal guy or gal is driving an EV. I need one too. That's ridiculous. The USPS should post profits before blowing billions on a fleet that will probably cause more problems than it solves. Second, it's not green since it uses fossil fuel to charge its batteries and make the batteries. Do liberals think an energy wizard resides within the power stations for these cars? There are logistical issues as well, especially post offices in rural areas. Reports of electric vehicles are conking out as the power station infrastructure remains underdeveloped. That's all at aside. The USPS should have post consecutive years of profit before this Democrat-led boondoggle project gets the green light. Blowing $11 billion on electric cars isn't going to help bring this struggling agency to solvency. All right, well, here's going to be the solution to this boondoggle. Trump may cancel the US Postal Service electric mail truck contract, sources say. This was December 6th. Donald Trump's transition team is considering canceling the US Postal Service contracts to electrify its delivery fleet as part of a broader suite of executive orders targeting electric vehicles, according to three sources familiar with the plans. The move, which could be unveiled in the early days of Trump's administration that begin on January 20th, is in line with Trump's campaign promises of roll back President Joe Biden's effort to decarbonize U.S. transportation to fight climate change, an agenda Trump has said is unnecessary and potentially damaging to the economy. Reuters has previously reported that Trump is planning to kill $7,500 consumer tax credit for electric vehicle purchases and plans to roll back Biden's stricter fuel efficiency standards. A little sidebar here. Elon Musk also said that get rid of it. Get rid of this taxpayer bloat. He doesn't need it. The vehicles should sell themselves. And what's ironic is they gave a government military contractor the contract to build electric mail cars at a super ridiculous price and could not deliver when they could have just got their arch enemy, the Democrat turned Republican, Elon Musk, to build the electric cars, and they all would have been built already at a freaking 1/10 the price. The irony just never ends, guys. So Oshkosh shares fell by roughly 5% after this report. In a statement on Friday, Oshkosh said it has worked closely with USPS to design and deliver a modernized fleet with a flexible mix of electric and gas-powered vehicles that have received early positive reviews from mail carriers. Oh, who the hell cares what they think? They're mail carriers, deliverers. They're driving a truck delivering mail. So when you search on Google censorship, or you could use Brave or something, you're going to have these fact-checker Democrat censorship lovers posting up their fact check. No, Biden did not spend $3 billion on 93 electric mail trucks. However, the US Postal Service does have a $2.98 billion contract with a company reportedly far behind in delivering vehicles. Okay, so it's 2.98, not 3. Is that? And they just haven't delivered more than 93 for how long? How long has been the contract been signed and approved? The Biden-championed Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 appropriated $3 billion for zero-emission delivery vehicles through September of 2031, partially funding a projected $9.6 billion investment in electric vehicles by the U.S. Postal Service. So it's $9.6 billion for the U.S. Postal Service in the next many years here. One of the contracts the Postal Service signed for this project is worth at least $2.98 billion and is with Oshkosh Corp., a company that had reportedly delivered only 93 of the expected 3,000 vehicles. So it is only 3,000 vehicles for $2.98 billion. So let's go do the math. Let's do the math, guys. Okay, so it's 2.9 billion. Now, okay, so 6 zeros, so that's 29 million. That's 290 million. That's 2,900 million. Is that 2 billion? Is 2,000, 1,000 millions is a billion. See, we're trying to get this, guys. Like, I never work in numbers this big. So that's 900 million. I think that's 2.9 billion right there. Okay, let's divide that by 3,000. So each vehicle is going to cost $966,666.66. So in the non-world of let's not round up at all, but let's round up, because you know it's going to be some cost overruns, and there's going to be what about the infrastructure for charging, let alone everything else. So $1 million a mail truck. $1 million of taxpayer money that's not going to programs to get people off of these drugs. It's not money that's holding freaking actual murderers and rapists and assaults and people in jail and holding them accountable. No, we're going after political opponents, but we have to give up 300 actual violent crime prosecutions. So it's, again, $1 million per mail truck. Undeliverable. Which is it ever going to be delivered? No, because the program is done. Anyways, guys, this is Marcel. This is the Canadian Journalist. This is the life in the fast lane of this crazy, absolute crazy times. We've lived through this Democrat, this neocon reign, this terror on the world, the G7 countries. Now things are turning the tide. Canada's coming next, guys. Let's hope. Well, we got Yagmeet Singh, Dhaliwal, this guy who's from India, banned from India, who is like essentially has the control of Canada, has the control of the vote of whether we have an election or not before he gets his 2.3 million pension after February 28th. This is what's going on in Canada, guys. We got essentially somebody controlling Canada for his $2.3 million ransom. Just wild. Bunch of freaking crazy assholes running the countries. And things are changing. Over and out.